Hello, do you think your trading account is too small? On October 12th, I started a small account challenge with just $464 and grew it to over $11,000 after commission in just 15 days. Yeah, the market conditions were great, and there was a reason that I did this challenge that I'll share with you in this video and break down the full performance results, including brokerage statements and performance metrics from my trading platform. So let's dive in, get ready, you're gonna learn a ton, and I'll prove to you that your account is not too small. In fact, it's likely too big. Let's dive into this video. But before we do, hit the subscribe button and like button and click the notifications bell to be alerted because we have new great content daily. Let's jump in and let's talk about this new small account challenge. All right, traders, I think it's important to start out this video with getting right into the results. You know, traders are very result-focused people. And I want to start out by showing you kind of how this small account challenge went. But, you know, before we actually dive down into the nitty-gritty, I'll show you the account statements, the overall time period that I traded in, the performance statistics off of my platform, CR Charts. I do want to mention this. The reason that I started this small account challenge is I was trading good with larger size, but I kind of suspected that somewhere down the road, somewhere soon, you know, I was going to run into the situation where I had a horrible day. And the reason behind that was I felt like I was getting loose with the approach. I was getting loose with the execution. You know, it just, things weren't feeling right. And so this small account challenge kind of came out of a necessity. And if you're in a situation where, hey, you know, like, I feel that things are getting loose. I feel things are slipping. You know, that moment in trading where things are going good, you're getting away with little adjustments. You're getting away with some bad habits maybe, but you know, ultimately somewhere down the road, they're going to cost you a lot. If you're at that point, you know, I highly recommend the small account challenge. It's actually super beneficial. And if you want to learn how I did it, why I did it, some signs that you might need to do it, we actually have a great episode topic on this. And that is on our podcast. Go to podcast.tradeproacademy.com. And in there, you'll see small account challenge to improve your trading. I covered a lot of different topics. I'll put the link in the description. Please listen to that if you want to go in full details as to why I did it. Okay, so that being aside, let's get into the results. And then we're going to review some of the trades as well. So the first thing you got to know is with this small account challenge, you know, I started in the middle of a lot of volatility. So the opportunity was there to scale and really build it up quickly. It's very market dependent. You know, it's not always a reflection of your skill. It's the market conditions as well. So kudos to Mr. S&P 500 or Mrs. S&P 500 really futures, because she gave me an opportunity right off the hopper. So here's how I started. So as of November or October 15th, rather, this is when the time period was for the small account challenge. I started with just $464.34 in my AMP trading account. All right. And this is the statements you get from AMP. Every single evening that you have live trades, they'll give you the last 4 days of your performance results. All right. So, well, how did I start? You could see it was a really hot start. Literally the first day that I traded, made $1,500, which is essentially tripling your entire account balance within the first day. Now, when we go into the actual order fills, I'm going to show you these trades in the first 2 to 3 days. And I'm going to show you what kind of trades I took in order to be that aggressive. You know, there was really not much that I left on the table. Had I had a horrible first day, I'd have to go down to the micros. This new account challenge goes completely different. So the first day was a lot of pressure, and, you know, I had to keep laying it on. I literally only had $164 of margin risk. If I'd lost 3 points in the ES, I would have to start down into the micros, the MES, to try to build it back. The reason I made the decision with that small balance to trade the ES, one contract, is because the opportunity was there. The volatility was there. So as long as I had a good start, managing my risk, I was very confident and have a good day. So the first 4 days started to slap really hard. You know, I got 1,500 on the first day of trading, 1146 the second, the third. And you can see within a matter of 4 days of trading, I built the account to $5,400 from just $464. Now remember, there's a lot of margin included in this. And by the time I finished on October 27th in the performance, you know, I did have some days where I didn't have trades or broke even. I think this one here specifically, I just didn't have any trades because I didn't find anything opportunistic. which happens, but I was able to maintain about $1,000 return a day on average, slightly more, to finish out the account challenge at 11,150. And I stopped here. The goal was to go to 30, to go to 50, to basically work this account balance until it replaced my main account. That way I could have really big confidence. But I made the decision, ultimately, the volatility was decent, to switch back. By the time I hit 11,150, the point of the exercise to get the discipline again, to work through some of the bad habits I was having, had ultimately been materialized. So in this small account challenge, here's the statistics from Sierra Charts. So first of all, because it was high volatility, there was also a lot of churn. All right, the total profit was $45,142.50. I did have a 32,000 loss, so the net total is 13K. And in volatility, in some of that desperation of trying to grow the account in that high volatility while following my discipline, I also had some pretty big losing trades. Right, and we'll look at that. The losers didn't exceed the winners, but I had a higher frequency of losses because of the volatility, and I had to keep my stop tight for this challenge. So my profit factor is only 1.4. Now, that's not amazing. Typically, I want to be above 2. And so what I wanted to show you here is when there's volatility in the market, the small account challenge is great because even if you don't trade fantastic, you get away with it as long as you're a good risk manager. So I had a 1.41 profit factor. All right. And this is more fascinating when you break it down to the short versus long, but we're just keeping it all together at the moment. Equity peak 13,145. I stopped at the top of this. Okay, maximum drawdown. Now, this is kind of what screwed up a lot of my challenge here. I had one day where I dropped $4,200. And, this was the day where I was like, look, I took this account and built it up on small discipline. So even within the small account challenge that was meant to be rediscipline me, I had a bad day. And this is a huge drawdown for a small account. And this day sort of made me look at this and say, all right, I got to go back to the basics. Because even if I do turn this $400 account into 10 million, let's say, but I'm trading like crap, this wasn't the point of the small account. I didn't really care about the profit. I was supposed to work on my discipline. So, I did have one bad day. Ultimately, I was leveraging quite a bit to try to grow it as much as possible because I had a target. But this one bad day was not great. All right, so looking at some of the average statistics, excluding that one, or not excluding, including it, but this, by the way, is a maximum drawdown intraday. So it didn't close there, but it was an intraday drawdown. This is how far the account pulled back at its height. All right, if you look at the maximum flat to flat open profit was 23.87. If you look at the maximum flat to flat trade open loss, it was negative 11.37. So my profits are almost 2 to 1. They're more than 2 to 1. So ultimately, I'm proud of that. All right. Average trade open profit, $85. Now, this is per contract. Average trade open loss, minus 50. So I'm winning more than I'm losing. Not 2 to 1, but close. All right. Look at this. Average winning trade open profit was 137. Average winning trade open loss was minus 30. So you could see that while I had the winners, my profits were much higher than my losses. I'm super proud of that. On the losing side, my average open profit was 36 and my average losing trade open loss was 68. I mean, they're losers. What I'm proud of is that I cut them pretty quickly when they didn't work, and that's because I used a fairly tight stop loss. All right. Per one contract, you could see the maximum open profit was 787. Maximum trade open loss was 150. Super proud of that ratio. All right. Now, here's where it gets interesting as we scroll down. This entire exercise, I was only 51% profitable. And it's not a horrible number, but it's not a great number. If you think about it, you could just coin flip and basically be able to generate these results in this volatile period. And, for me, because I was trading a little bit more actively, again, with the account balance or the new account challenge hanging over my head, I felt like I sort of overcompensated a little bit, and I opened it up to the team and said, hey guys, look what I'm doing. I started sharing it, and it became something more than what I started the goal with, which ultimately also led to the decision to can it, because it's like, I'm not doing this for me anymore. But anywho, 51% is not a great number, but my strategy only requires a 37% win rate. If I was a surgeon and I told you I'm only right 37% of the time, the other 63 people die, you wouldn't come to me. But in trading, this is the benefit of risk and reward management, is that you could be above 37% and still break even. So 51% for the whole challenge, not a fantastic win rate, but this is where things start to be great for me. I'm looking down at these numbers, just trying to find it here. The next section, I mean, you could pause and look at this. I'm not going to go through each number, but the ones I'm really proud of is the third screen here. These are the ones that even if I'm doing good or bad, if these numbers are in the right range, I'm super proud of it. By the way, another episode that you could listen to on our podcast is performance metrics that professional traders use. So if you go to podcast.tradeproacademy.com, here you could just on the top right, type in performance in the search bar. All right, I'm going to bring this onto the screen. So go to podcast.tradeproacademy.com. Okay, top right. Under, you got to click episodes. I apologize. Click the episodes button. And then under the search, type in performance. You can see I've already typed this before. And if you hit the search button, you know, these are the metrics that are important. Performance metrics you need to be using. Highly, highly, highly recommend listening to this podcast episode. Game changer. I show you some of the small account challenge stuff. Plus, I explain all the metrics that are game changers in how you evaluate your performance. It's not about the win rate. All right, there's other things you need to be following. So looking at the average time in winning trades, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Like I said, I had a more aggressive strategy on this small account challenge. Average time in losing trades, 51 seconds. This is a ratio I'm looking to be at least 2 to 1 at all times. I need to stay in my winners longer than my losers. Otherwise, how am I going to be profitable with a 51% win rate? And looking at the longest held winning trade, 1 hour and 8 minutes versus 9 hours and 17 minutes for the longest held losing trade. So fantastic there on these numbers. These are high flying passing grades that I'm proud of. All right. I did trade a lot, 954 contracts in that period. All right. Largest trade profit to loss is 135. And really, these are the statistics that I love to see the most, the time in trades. Because you'll see traders who make a ton of money, but they're in losing trades longer and their losing trades are bigger. And this is the problem I ran into before I did this small account challenge. So let's review just the first 2 days of these fills. So I'm going to pause the video and get back to it in just a moment. But I want to review the first 2 full trading days to show you how I got that head start where, 2 days in, it's about $2,600 plus of profit, which once you get that start, you're giving yourself a chance really to build your account and to have some more upside opportunity with a little bit more margin availability. Okay, so let's go and review those 2 days. We'll go trade by trade there, and then we'll end out the video. But these are the results. Now let's see how I started off with such a hot start. Hey guys, I'm really sorry. I made a mistake saying the 15th was the account challenge start date. It was the 12th. What threw me off is that this report is as of the 15th on AMP. But if you look at it, this is the 15th profit, 14th, 13th, and the first 1,530 came on October the 12th. So this is really where that account challenge started, where I had a good start to the day. And here's the fills. Now we look at a ton of stuff in terms of order flow. As traders at TradePro Academy, we have a lot of order flow tools, price structure, and I have a couple other monitors with volume profiles, tick charts, footprint charts, many other tools that really help me dictate the pulse and the entries of this market. But here's how I started. So this is on October 12th. You can see that this is actually the live account. SIM is off. If you turn it to SIM, there's no fills. Obviously, just want to show you that, this is the first real day of the challenge. So the first short I had here right off of the open at 9:30, leading into the open, we had 2 really big sell waves. And I had the short one contract, saw the margin I could have at 56 quarters. So I took the short, and because I was only trading one contract, I had to get on the ride and get off the ride super quick. If I just lost 3 points, I was going to find myself out of this challenge and have to go down the micros. So I grabbed one short on the contract, and what I promised myself from the go is I'm going to manage this really tight. I'm going to manage it like this is the last $460 I have. So when things are going well for me, I was going to let the trend play out. When I saw order flow suggesting a reversal could be in the deck of cards, I'd get the trade out, take the profit, whatever I had, not get greedy, and then don't allow these trades to go against me too fast and too much off of the get-go because, $400 is all I had. So the next trade is we rebound back up. I take this one quickly as a winner. We rebound back up to some really big resistance structure. And what I waited for was a rejection candle. So when you're looking to short or buy something, you want to see a candle print in the opposite direction of the trend leading up into it at a big resistance. So the market rallies into that big resistance. We get a rejection candle. And then I shorted a second one lot trade at 63 half, covered it at 58 quarter. So that's 5.25 points. That right there is about $250 plus the first two. I'm up 350 and the account's almost doubled, and it's 9:33 in the morning. Okay. What I see after I cover this trade is we rally back up, and now this low is getting placed higher. So as we go down, I look at a retrace. Now this was an order flow short that I had to get out on a stop. I didn't wait for the rejection candle on this. I'm like, hey, this is some of the bad habits sneaking in. And then I shorted here once I saw the rejection candle, added one more to the downside, covered one for break even, one for a slight profit. Then we go back up and rally up into this area. I see the rejection candle, get one short, take it off as soon as order flow changed. There was a moment there where I thought buyers were going to come in because while we weren't putting in new highs, we were putting in sequentially higher lows. And this is looking to be like, hey, we might have a release above the 35 here on the ES. But as soon as I got that trade out, I got the confirmation on order flow. Sellers were in charge, shorted one lot, and then I covered it for a profit below the lows, or sorry, above the lows rather, because this is a big support. Then I waited for the breakout, the reversal candle, and then shorted one more time. This time it was a 2-lot trade. So you could see this is where I made the decision to scale up and start putting 2-lot trades instead of one, because at this point the account was doubled and I had the ability to lose a little bit and still be in the game. So I took profit right above the VWAP on this trade. Here I got chopped up a little bit, and you can see I'm managing them very tight. Here's one short for 2 lots, scratched it for a profit. I think this one here was 1/4 point and 3/4 point. So 1 point total on 2 contracts. Okay. Then I shorted it here when I got the rejection. All right. Scratched that trade very quick. Shorted it again because order flow turned bearish. We're below the VWAP. The short is on. All right. Took profit here for just a couple ticks. And the last one I got stopped on full size. And so I'm like, okay, look, the job is done well. I shorted below the VWAP. I have my stop there. What am I going to do? I'm going to let this thing run. Okay, so it breaks out and it runs. I flip to the long side, looking for some targets to the upside at 62. As soon as I get long, I realize this is the wrong place to be on the long side. The flow is still to the bearish side. Shorted here 2 contracts, picked up the winner slightly below just for a couple points. Shorted again, picked up the winner. And as you can see, this is very active. This is an active style of trading. When you only have $400 to start with the day, you have to be active in how you protect that. So yeah, commission's racking up here for sure on this day. But at the same time, not worried about the commission. What I'm worried about is getting in to protect my profit, getting some points, getting paid, and trying the trade again. So it's a high frequency, but every single trade I'm putting some profit on the table. It's building the account up. All right. I had a couple more shorts. You could see very active day by 10 a.m. You know, trying to short it didn't work. This short trade paid me. Tried a long here. I got paid, got out of the trade. This was just a fade. Scratched a short that ended up being perfect. Flipped to the long side. Look at this. 1 long trade, 2 long trades. Very active. And, you know, commission again, building up. But through getting in and out, what I'm doing essentially is practicing my ability to put on a position and get out of it, to manage risk, to control my losses. This was the whole goal of my trading small account challenge journey. It wasn't to trade as little as possible, take the highest probability trades. It was to do a high frequency of trades, high repetition, but manage risk. So I'm only left with, hey, if I'm in a trade and it turns bad, get out ASAP. By doing 30, 40 frequency and turns of repetition, you're solidifying what you need to. And to me, the learning lesson was I need to get in clean and get out on the initial bit of the profit. So this is what I was practicing. And as the day plays out, I think I eventually stop. I mean, I have quite a few trades here. 1:05 p.m., I got a nice long here. This was a good one. In the afternoon, I let them run a little bit. In the morning of the US session, there's some more chop. At this point, you can see I even went to 3 contracts within the same day. All right. And I got the long off the 43.75 and 43 half and rode these 2 really clean. Almost got the top tick before things turn around. And that was my day. Very active day on this day alone. Let me pull up the activity log and we'll just open up that one day. So this was the 12th of October. Okay. So if we go down to October 12th until October 12th, then we'll have the 1-day performance. I want to show you the commission and how I started. And then the rest of the days, it would take forever to review this performance completely. Let me go to all symbols, non-sim, pull it up on Sierra. I'm going to hide my account number. This is YouTube after all. Okay, but here's how I did $1,500 here on $1,500 on profit and huge churn, 5,000 return for the day, 3,500 loss. This was the whole goal of the small account challenge, right? 82 contracts traded, and this 1,500 is after commission. If I exclude commission, the total amount was $1,850. So I paid about $300 of a commission on a day where I started with a $430 or $60 account. What was it? $464.30. All right. So my commission was almost the amount of money I started with. That's what was required. And if volatility wasn't that hot, then I would have had 1 or 2 trades, 3 in the morning. But volatility in the market was moving. Order flow was working really well. This was a day where I had to strike, but I was on a small account. So I didn't do anything different. So I hope you've enjoyed it. That's how I got the hot start. From there, the rest of the days were easier to manage because I could put on a little more size. But that's how I grew this account from 464 on October 12th to a little over 11,000 by October the 27th. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something. Look forward to seeing you in our trading room at TradeProAcademy.com, where we trade with the team every single day, any style, any strategy, any approach. We got professional traders that collab together on a daily basis. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hello, Trade Pros, and that's the video for today. Hopefully this was motivational, inspirational, and educational at the end of the day. If you liked this video, hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice. Please also subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell. We got great content coming out daily. Until next time, manage that risk and trade like a trade pro. And don't forget to check the podcast episodes referenced in this video by clicking the description below. The links are there. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Take care and goodbye.